Spring of 2020 has been the anime season of delays thanks to the pandemic, with big names like Food Wars, Balance Unlimited and Promised Neverland all getting pushed back. Even some big shonen which we've gotten used to seeing every single week for years, like Black Clover, Boruto and even One Piece have seen delays. But because of that, some other anime got to shine, and for me, the best anime airing right now is Sing Yesterday for me. And in this video, I'll try to explain why that is to all of you. Well, I say I will, but I want to get another opinion on the show from someone else, and that person today is BMoreBrass. I guess he likes the show, I don't know really.
Sing Yesterday for me provides a collection of characters that are some of the most real and relatable characters I think I've ever seen in any anime. They really feel and act like real people. They have mixed emotions, uncertainty, normal non-tsundere levels of jealousy, and oddly unique for an anime, contentment with the status quo. Each of the main characters has gotten plenty of time up to this point, and while they've all been provided with magnificent, distinct characterization, there's also something that at least I'm able to relate to for every one of them. And there's nothing more important in a show like this than being able to relate to the characters. Even the characters that are only in one episode somehow get more than enough development that by the end of their episodes you really do connect with them. So far, almost halfway through this show, there has yet to be a character that misses for me. The closest would probably be Ro, but that's less of a miss and more he hits too close to home. His brash youthfulness and desire to become an adult for someone else is not only a great foil for Rikuo's seemingly listless start to adulthood, but also something that I personally put myself through not all that long ago. So I find myself yelling at him to stop, even though I know he can't hear me. The show just doesn't waste any space when it comes to characterization. Every scene has meaning, and there really aren't any throwaway lines either. The episodes all really do feel like they're an hour long, but they don't drag one bit. There's plenty of drama to go around, but it's never blown out of proportion or lingered on too much. The characters act like people their age would in this situation, unlike many high school dramas where 80% of the plot would be solved by getting rid of convenient misunderstandings. And that's ultimately what's so key about connecting deeply with these characters. It's that I now know that whatever happens moving forward, wherever this story ends up, I'ma feel it. From what I can see, Sing Yesterday for me is a spectacular piece of storytelling, and its foundation is in its characters. So I'm here for the long haul, and you should be too. Waiting and kind of dreading whatever this crushing yet probably uplifting climax will look like.
I'd love to give a huge thanks to BMoreBrass here. He's a really amazing guy, and you should all check him out on the iCard, end screen, top of the description. The choice is yours, to be honest. Now, going back to Sing Yesterday, I'll firstly tell you all of the technical stuff. So, Sing Yesterday for me is an adaptation of a manga made by Kei Tome. The manga is 112 chapters long, the anime is streamed on Crunchyroll, and the adaptation is done by Doga Kobo, studio known for stuff like Umaru-chan, Asteroid in Love, and of course, how heavy are the dumbbells you lift. Now, with the technicalities out of the way, I'd like to start off with why I like the show and why I would recommend it. And just like Ian said, the realism plays a huge part in the story. I can believe that there is someone who is chasing after something they know they will never have. I believe there is someone who is mistaking compassion and the feeling of duty for blind love. I believe there is someone who doesn't want to accept the reality of being an adult. I believe there is someone hanging onto the past and not letting it go, allowing their past to control their life completely. And most of all, I believe people can change. I believe all of those things because all of those I've seen with my own pair of eyes, and because I myself have gone through most of these, and so have many other people. Here I'd like to make a comparison with another amazing show, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Now, I'm not saying that I like either one of these more than the other, that is a discussion for a different day. Quite literally actually, because I will make a video ranking the romance anime I've seen in the near future. Now, what I want to compare is the characters, or more so the realism of those characters. I've just told you that I can fully believe in characters in Sing Yesterday, whereas I don't believe in a character that becomes literally invisible and forgotten, gets magically cut when under stress, divides into two and stuff like that, because I know that that isn't possible. There is no such thing as the puberty syndrome in the real world, and even though I know that all of it is supposed to be a metaphor, it is just bumped to such an extreme I cannot believe in it one bit. And that is the thing here. Seeing Yesterday didn't make anything too dramatic or too sad when it didn't need to. It didn't make me cry nearly the same amount Bunny Girl Senpai did, but it just gave me this different kind of feel no other show, anime or not, ever did. I cannot explain that well, but it is this weird mix of feel-good nostalgia, happiness, enjoyment, and just this overall relaxing feel. It just helps you smile at the end of a very hard and exhausting day. I kid you not, ever since I started watching the show, I watched an episode at the end of every single day, just so I could fall asleep easily and with a smile on my face. Now, it might not be the same for everyone, but why not give it a shot? Now, another thing I love about this is the author's clear attention to detail, with some of the most basic things some other shows I've seen haven't paid much attention to. Those things are not that noticeable unless you pay close attention to them, like for example, how it is the younger two chasing after the older ones, because that just makes sense. It makes sense that the high schoolers have a lot of hope and still believe in some brighter future, still believe in miracles. And it's not just like they didn't have any hardships in life, so that's why they have more belief. Not at all, because they did. But it's just more normal for high schoolers to believe in miracles more than the adults. One more thing I need to mention is how they showed these characters have lives aside from the show. They all have their friends, family, work or schoolmates. They are not presented as characters who exist only for the sake of the story. They are once again believable, with friends that don't need to be essential to the story taking place, yet they somehow seem still very relevant and the show would feel much emptier without them. Here I'm not talking about someone like Yuzuhara or Kinoshita, who clearly have a huge impact on the main cast. I'm talking about someone like Fukuda and his wife who seem like normal friends who you talk with normally in your day-to-day life. I'd like to compare this to another great, amazing show that I love, Your Lie in April, which has supporting characters, but they don't give off the feeling that they are friends, apart from everything happening in the story, if that makes any sense. Like, for example, now, she is presented like a friend of Sawabe, but them two together don't give off the feeling of being friends, just a normal day-to-day life, talking about normal day-to-day stuff. Now, you might be asking, why am I comparing it with these amazing, great shows that I love? Why don't I compare it with some shitter to make the example easier and more understandable? Well, I'm doing that to show how Sing Yesterday is a show that sticks out amongst other shows that stick out. And it does that with this amazing realism and amazing relaxing tone it gives off, as well as its storytelling. It's just a show everyone should at least give a chance to, especially if you're a huge fan of romance or even slice of life. It is a story that has drama that isn't right up in your face because, like Ian said, the characters act their age and are not overreactive. It wakes up this nostalgia sitting in you that should feel bad, but it feels so good for some reason. So if I had to summarize this show in a sentence, it would be realistic, relaxing, and just overall amazing anime. And that'll be for today. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to click a like. Once again, a huge shout out to BMoreBrass. All of his links are down below: Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. If you have something to add to this discussion, please let me know in the comments. Also, if you want to check out my other stuff, feel free, there's at least a couple on my channel, and if you really want to check out my other stuff, why not subscribe, maybe even click the bell if you are insane or something. But yeah, that's about it. Trigger. Oh.